Lichens introduction. The intimate symbiotic association of fungi and algae is called lichens. Algae get protection and get moisture from fungus. Fungi get nutrition from the algae. The food substances diffuse from algae to fungi. The algae of lichens mostly belong to chlorophyta and cyanobacteria. Distribution. Lichens have worldwide distribution. They form major part of vegetation in polar regions. They can withstand extreme temperatures but very sensitive to pollution. Classification. There are two groups of lichens, ascolichens. In this case, lichens belong to Ascomycota. Majority of the lichens belongs to this group. It is further divided into two groups on the basis of fruiting bodies. These groups are Gymnocarpi and Pyrenocarpi. Basidiolichens. In this case, lichens belong to Basiodmyrota. Vegetative body. Lichens have thallus body. The thalli have different shapes and colors, but most of them are bluish-green or grayish-green. Some thalli bear apothecia. The lichens are divided into three groups on the basis of thallus. A. Crustose lichens. In this case, the thallus form crust-like structure. It is closely adhere to the substrate. Examples. Graphis B. Foliose lichens. In this case, thallus has leaf-like lobes. They are ite from the substrate. They are attached only at certai points. Example. Physcia, Permalia, C. Fruticose lichens. Their thalli are cylindrical ribbon-like and branched. It is attached only at the base. Examples. Cladonia, Cisnea. Physcia structure. Physcia is foliose lichen. Physcia is divided into four regions internally. These regions are 1. Upper cortex. It is present at the upper regions. It is composed of closely packed hyphae. Spaces are absent between them. If spaces are present, they are filled by gelatinous material. The upper surface may be smooth or it has hair-like structures. These hairs are formed by scattered hyphae above the cortex. Point 2. Algal layer or gonadal region. It is present below the upper cortex. It contains algal components. Loose hyphae are present between the algal cells. Point 3. Medulla. A wide region of loosely arranged hyphae is present below the algal region. It is scaled medulla. It forms the major part of the thallus. Point 4. Lower cortex or hypothallus. It is present below the medulla. It is a narrow layer of compactly arranged hyphae. If the algal components are scattered irregularly among the fungal hyphae, then the thallus is called homomerous. If they are restricted to a single layer, then it is called heteromerous. Breathing pores. Small cavities are present on the upper cortex. These cavities are called breathing pores. These cavities may be raised to form papillae or cone-like structure. Cephalodia. Gall-like outgrowth is formed on certain thalli. These galls are composed of both fungal and algal cells. These are called cephalodia. Reproduction. Vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction take place by sauroidea formation. Sauroidea are small bud-like outgrowths formed on the surface of thallus. Sauroidea are composed of any algal cells with few fungal hyphae. Sauroidea are detached. They are dispersed by wind. Asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction in Physcia takes place by pasnospores formation. These spores are formed inside the flask-shaped cavity called pycnidia. Sexual reproduction. Ascogonium. The female reproductive. Ran is ascogonotime in Physcia. Ascogonium is multicellular structure. It has among multicellular trichogyne at its tip. B. Spermatangia. The male sex organs are spermatangia. Fertilization. Spermatia are discharged from the spenotangia. They fall on trichogyne. Wall is dissolved between two. The contents of spermatium are transferred into trichogyne. Plastigamy occurs. After that, ascogonium produce ascogenous hyphae. The hyphae produce characteristics fruiting bodies apothecia. Ascogenous hyphae produce asci inside the apothecia. Some sterile hyphae among the asci form paraphyses. Choreogamy occurs. It produces zygote. Zygote divides by meiosis. Thus each ascus contains 8 ascospores. The peridium of Apothecia also contain algal component. This condition is called lecanorrhene. Ascospores are dispersed by wind. Germination of ascospore. The ascospores germinate to produce hyphae in all directions. Some of its branches come in contact with the alga. They form many branches and surround the algal component. More hyphae are formed. It produces characteristic Thallus of Physcia.